come into theoretical in. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
The theoretical part, yeah, that's okay. That's completely fine. I will come into the theoretical part in the later part of my PhD. But this chapter or like this section is completely data oriented, rather than like anything mathematical or theoretical.
Oh,
Okay, so I'm Vidya, and like as Priyanka introduced, I'm a PhD student in CES. I'm working with Professor Rohini Balakrishnan. If you might have heard about Rohini Balakrishnan. She's a pioneer in bioacoustics, and so I'm using bioacoustics as a tool to understand the behavior of a bat. It's Megaderma spasma. It's found in the tropical. I'll come into later. So we are using biologos as a means to understand what is going on in the with the bats in the wild. So, there were like in general in movement ecology and biome telemetry, there are two types of data that is generally collected. So there is also the storage issues that comes with the biologgers. In like biologgers, they collect the data and they store it. So the storage and the battery issue. So and when it comes to the battery issue, most of the tags that are deployed in daytime animals are solar powered. We have bats, so we can't be using those. And there is also the storage issue, and also since our bats are quite small, and there is this less than 10 percentage of the body weight, that hallmark has to be ballpark weight thing has to be there, otherwise it will be extremely difficult for the bats. And since it's a flying mammal, a slight increase in their weight could have high energy consequences. Uh, so that is the kind of biologger that we are looking into. So in general, the data collected by biologgers could be low resolution data that is for like a long time period. uh, like for years, there will be data that is collected that is generally GPS data and also movement data. That is, movement data corresponds to accelerometers and magnetometers, gyroscopes, those sort of things. Like those are like inbuilt in a lot of mobile devices. Like it's all around us. It's in our phone. It's in our watches right now. So those are the data that is usually collected. But there is also another type of data that can be collected, which is like high resolution data, which is like almost in a continuous sense. We collect the data for a short time period, so we get high clarity data into like what is going on in a night or like in a day, in an activity period, like high resolution of what is going in their life. So in our case, we we had tagged like around 15 bats in the period of like 2018 and 2020. And these bats were tagged for one night, like 2 days, like 2 nights. Like it will be only turned on the next day, and the data, the biologger is retrieved and the data is processed, and we will be looking at the data. So we tagged around 32 bats. Only 50 biologgers, 15 biologgers were retrieved. So these are the loggers that we had used. Those are like this is called a Vesper. The one on the left is called a Vesper. So in the tag, so there is GPS, this kinematic data, and also audio recorder. So why audio recorder will come in to later. And also there is another one on the right, which is a pip recorder, which doesn't have GPS, but the kinematic data and audio is recorded. So in the case of bats, since it's a acoustically communicating species, these uh, biologgers have been used to pick up ultrasound signals as well. And so these echolocation calls, they have a pattern in which so they will produce calls, and as soon as they catch a call, catch a prey, as in like as soon as it catches a prey, there will be like a series of very like highly like low spaced calls in the spectrogram, and those are called feeding buzzers, which is a like a proxy which is used for successful foraging. But in our case, our bat is different. So our bat doesn't use much echolocation to pick up insects, which had come to us as a surprise. And also, we are using these audio recorders to identify what is going on. So, like, I'll play an audio. I hope it's not painful to hear. So this is the chewing sound of bat eating an insect, and we can also recognize when the bat is flying because it sounds like this. So this is the audio part. So the audio part of the biologer like gives us an idea of what the bat is doing. And so the kinematic information, which is the accelerometer and magnetometer, using that we can for like using the data we can recreate what how the bat is moving in the space. So this is like a 5 second this is like the this is the data like 5 second uh, animation that has been created from the data that was collected in 2018 for 5 seconds from a one single bat, like what it is doing in 5 seconds, how it is moving. Is it playing? So using these tools, I'm trying to understand how exactly the Megaderma spasma forages in wild. Insectivorous bats have like different known methods of hunting prey, which involves a lot of echolocation. But in our case, it's not echolocating. We might know, like we there are a lot of um, hypothesis of why it might be happening, because a lot of the insects that they hunt have developed ultrasound detection capabilities. So these insectivorous bats are now using passive echolocation, passive not echolocation, passive localization to find the prey rather than active hunting by echolocation. That is one possibility. So this is our bat. Finally, we come to our bat. You can see how the ears are quite large, and this is a small bat. And so in the insectivorous bats, generally they are classified into aerial hawking, gleaning, and trolling bats, which are like aerial hawking means they hunt and prey in air, and trawling means they will be taken from the surface of water, and gleaning is the prey is caught from the surface, like they catch and catch and take it from the surface. So perch hunting is an strategy that is very less observed in a lot of, in generally in among insectivorous bats. Like there is like 5 bats who have been shown to be perch hunters. Our M spasma is also from the data we know that it's a perch hunter, because almost among the like 6 hours of data that the where it is supposed to be actively hunting, it will be hunting like for 1.5 hours. So it most of the time it's perching in a like a low branch and like passively listening for prey noises. So it's a so that the bats were tagged in Kudramukh area. So it was in Udupi, near Udupi district. They were tagged, and these bats are like distributed among Southeast Asia. And so that's it. That's the talk.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for that talk. That was pretty succinctly put. Nice job. Let's see if we've got any questions from our members. I don't see any questions in the chat, but we'll wait for a while.
Okay.
In case anyone has any questions,
Okay.
you can raise your hands or like start speaking right away. That's also fine. But until then, I did notice something very interesting when you were talking about installing the biologgers, and you said that you had put around 30, but you retrieved only 15.
Only 15. Yes.
I mean, from a project planning point of view, was that something you guys had maybe expected would happen, like that, the loss of
I
around
think
half your.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think that was expected.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like um, what to say? Since it might come off while they are flying. That
Mm-hmm.
is a possibility. That is what mostly it has happened. So
Mm-hmm.
these bats have roost fidelity,
Mm-hmm.
so they will come back to the roost, and from there they were retrieving the bats. So but
Okay.
yeah, this is a problem with most biologgers. There is a possibility of losing about half of the biologgers that you install.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine how difficult it must be from like the project planning
Yes,
point of view,
yes.
and
Also,
not to
it
mention the
is
loss
not
of data. Yeah.
it's also kind of there will be a lot of problems when it is the data size becomes quite smaller.
Hmm.
The uh, sample size becomes smaller. The issue is also that the biologgers sometimes they won't be functioning properly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they might like stop working for some time and then start again. These are the data was collected in 2018 and 2020.
Mhm.
So in the 2020 data, like most of the bad data that has been collected is we cannot use it because there is like huge gaps in between
Oh, okay.
of like the biologgers stopped working.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's also quite difficult since it's a nighttime species which doesn't see any sunlight,
Hmm.
to make a very small device which is like which can take a lot of information is quite difficult. And I think like this is the only biologist. So there were like another uh, so this is lab made biologgers.
Mhm.
So these are not commercially available, and there is like one other lab which also developed uh, these sort of biologgers for bats
Mhm.
with audio data, of course, but they were not as good as these. Is what
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
And are these biologgers specific only to bats, or do you
I
think they could be
yeah.
employed for other smaller mammals also?
I think it could be employed for smaller mammals as well.
Mhm.
But these people, the lab is exclusively bat,
Oh,
so
okay.
they have been using it for bats. But like as from a mechanical point of view, I don't see any problem with it being used for any other mammals.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's stuck to um, uh, the the bat using glue,
Hmm.
which is like safe. So I think yeah, it can be used for other mammals too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. All right. I think we don't really have any questions right now. There's
Okay.
none on the WhatsApp group as
Like
well. But
yeah,
but again,
like
on a
anything.
parting final note, I would just like to say, because we had somebody else who was into bat acoustics, and they were talking about
Oh,
stressing the importance of maybe having like a shared database for bat calls.
ha ha ha.
What did
Yes,
you
yes,
what do you think about that? Is that something that would be helpful to your project,
yes.
or?
Uh, the thing is, so I was also like using the course behavioral data.
Mhm.
I was able to like kind of calculate the energy used by the bats, like energy the bat gets through the foraging time, and also that it loses by flight, kind of like an approximation for that value.
Hmm.
So the surprising thing that we found was that like it is not much, as in like by the end of the flight,
Hmm.
it's not uh, like gaining much of a uh, like much of energy from it started off.
Oh, okay.
Which was quite surprising. There will be problems with the calculation as well. So but if I have a database of other bats data as well,
Hmm.
biologger data, maybe I can like look into how other bats are also like do the same calculations with the other bats, and we can see how like among different clades of bat how it is
Hmm.
varying and things like that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope
uh
that's, and now we've
yeah,
got
so
questions also, but I hope you find like a database soon. I'm sure someone in the group can help you figure that out.
yeah.
So first we've got a raised hand from Deepu. Do you mind going ahead and unmuting yourself?
Yeah, hi. I hope am I
Hi. Yeah.
audible?
Yes, yes, audible. Go on.
Hi.
Yeah, hi, Vidya. Really interesting work. Thank you so much for the presentation. My
Thank you so
question
much.
is, most welcome. So I see that you're using BioLogos. So
Yes.
I hope, are you trying to record the calls, or I'm really trying to figure out how did you
Ha
record
ha ha.
the kinetic data? So
So there are like sensors, sensors, IMU sensors, inertial motion unit. Those
yes,
sensors also installed in the biologos. So that is from where. So there are accelerometers and magnetometer and also gyroscope. So from the accelerometer, we know how the acceleration is changing. Also from the magnetometer, we have an idea of how it is oriented. So combining both, we can like have a trajectory, predict kind of a trajectory. There will be obviously errors, but we can kind of have an idea of how it is moving in space.
all right. So these BioLogos are like, where are you installing it? Is it like under the tree canopy, or is it on top
Oh
of
no, no,
bats?
it's on the bat.
It's on the bat. Okay, that's
Yeah.
why I got confused. So the thing
Oh,
is
I'm
that we are
sorry, I
also
should have
working.
mentioned it. So biologgers are like from my point of view, my definitions are biologgers that are like deployed on animals. I should have like explained it in further that it is deployed on animals. I'm sorry for that.
No, it's my bad. So we are also
No,
into
no, no, it's not.
bioacoustic. So we are
Oh yeah.
building like India's first edge AI based bioacoustic system. We're also a startup. So really interesting
Oh
work. I hope we'll meet in some time and we'll
yeah.
figure it out. Thank you so much.
Yes. So there is also a question in
Yes, the
the
chat.
chat.
Yeah, go on if
Yeah.
you don't mind taking it.
Yeah,
For
yeah. So
everyone, the
it's
question is, this is from your acoustic recordings. Can you make out what foods these bats are eating? And this is a question by
uh
Devpita. Go on.
yeah, so we don't know what it exactly it is eating,
Hmm.
but we know from the like duration data we know how long it is eating, and like so from the time duration of chewing we can get a proxy for the mass of the insect. And since that mass can be used as a kind of proxy for energy as well. So we can't exactly tell apart like are they eating arthropods or like beetles, arthropods, no sorry, like orthopterans or other insects. So yeah, we can't tell that, but we know how long it is chewing, and we know like a kind of a distribution of what size range do the diet comes do the diet of bats come in, so that we know.
All right. That's pretty cool. I think everybody's gotten the message that it'll end in 10 minutes. So I think it's a great time to
Okay.
wrap up. In case anybody has any more questions, you're free to ask in the WhatsApp group or even email
Yes,
me back and then I can forward it to Vidya. Uh,
yes, please do contact. I'll be very happy. And
all
it
right.
was nice having like a very informal uh, uh, session, and thank you, Priyanka, for give me the opportunity.
Oh, no
I
worries.
appreciate it.
I wanted to hear from you because this sounds pretty cool, huh? And like a bat with a choto backpack on. It just
Yes.
makes a very cute image in my head. So
Yeah.
it's a very interesting talk. All right,
Thank you.
everyone. Then we'll see you in the next month's Research Spotlight. Thank you, Vidya, for joining us.
Yes,
Right.
thank you. Thank
Bye.
you so much for
Okay. Bye bye.
bye.